West Africans. What do you mean West Africans? Is it going to be the Congo people?
No, it's say West Africa, though.
Bro, most of the slaves came from West Africa.
Bro, it's not West Africa. Bro, Brazil was from Angola. The slaves that went to Brazil are from Angola, bro. I'm telling you. Slave people arrived from Angola. I'm trying to tell you something. You're not listening. That's why you speak English and not Portuguese. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Okay, now we're starting.
Are you gonna read all the facts?
No, now
Can
we're starting.
You read them? Can you read them?
I'm not including this.
Read it.
Gen Z, what is up? Gen Z, what is up, man? It is not a podcast. It is a show. We bring those pertinent topics pertaining to Gen Z, whether that's within politics, business, or media. The idea is to help y'all be perceptive to build what?
Perspective.
Okay, listen. I'm excited for the new addition that's about to happen to this podcast. Man, just keep, y'all about to see, man. We've had a clip go viral. I said in the last one, we had a clip go viral going 350K views on the TikTok. Hello. Yes. And our last couple of episodes have been doing pretty well. 2 episodes ago, we just hit 990 views on it, so we're probably about to hit a band, so I'm excited for that in general. And we had a pretty eventful week in general. But first, my name is Sadiq Spears. I am the host of It's Not a Podcast. We are hosted on the Perspective Media Network. You can find us on LinkedIn, TikTok, Substack specifically you can find us on, and all the good platforms in general. This is my good friend right here, Kanai Webb. Okay, and we got a slew of topics to get to. First off, Pam Bondi. Man, is that girl a night walker? Man, isn't she a night walker, man? We just had the press conference for Pam Bondi. If y'all saw it, we have a couple of clips. We're going to speak about that. Kanai went and lobbied in Albany.
Yes.
We're going to speak about that a little bit, too. Midterms is coming up in November. A lot of people have been talking about it because, potentially had the ability to maybe, bring some impeachment hearings to Trump. So we're going to speak about what you can do, how to prepare for that a little bit. He went to Eastdale, which is like a town. I don't know if you want to...
town in Poughkeepsie on the west side, which was actually not gentrified, but a whole new community. I used to work over there at a little nursing home back then, and it was completely flat land, grassland. Now they got businesses everywhere and housing everywhere. So
we're going to talk about what maybe a black futuristic town looks like, or a town that we may all want to inhabit one day look like. We just bring up that cool kind of prompt. And, Bad Bunny, Benito was at the Super Bowl, brought out Ricky Martin. It was a good time. Talked about the diaspora.
Brought out Vibes Cartel.
Talked about diaspora, and okay, you just talking too much, and we're gonna talk about that, and then they're gonna fry you up, and then I went to a retreat, GQ retreat. 50 Black and Latino men went in New Jersey, and we went to a little retreat, and it was fire. I got some reflections that I definitely want to bring about, and we have a little bit of Black history topic to bring up with the Benito stuff. So I think that's it, and that's this week's news, and we're gonna get right into it. So first off, you want to touch on Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I'm gonna find some clips while you talk.
So, completely disgusting, and I hate to say the same thing that everyone else is saying, but what else can you really add to this conversation?
There's not much to add.
We're talking about Epstein, we're talking about pedophiles, we're talking about sex trafficking. This shorty gonna bring up the Dow Jones. She said, talk about the 50,000 mark in the
bro.
S&P 500.
Oh my gosh, bro. She gonna talk about 50. Oh, the Dow Jones hit 50,000.
This is a stereotypical demon. This is a textbook demon in the Bible. Literally, there are pages and pages about people like this.
Yeah.
Then calling congresswomen losers. It's a lot, honestly. You got a clip coming up?
Yeah, I got a clip.
I wouldn't even really waste your time watching the whole entire thing.
Not at all.
To be honest with you.
Not at all.
No type of acknowledgement.
And by the way, Pam Bondi is the Attorney General for the United States, if y'all did not know.
Department of Justice, yes.
Department of Justice. And she's basically the one that is in charge of all these Epstein file releases. Of course, you have the FBI, who's supposed to be low-key, doing those investigations alongside the DOJ. But Pam Bondi is the one who's supposed to be kind of like responsible for all of this and it being released. They also, I'm pretty sure they put that bill through through Congress of the Epstein Transparency Act.
Yes.
And
I don't think it passed though.
Oh, you don't think it passed? Because it couldn't have. There's no way it couldn't have.
Yeah.
Because they obviously haven't done anything. They have not tried anybody, and they have a list of of victims and a list of perpetrators.
Oh, and
yet,
let's also note that in the beginning of the year, well, timeline, we run, first of all, the Trump campaign runs on, we're going to release the Epstein files.
Yep.
That's like number 3 in their agenda.
And all his supporters. That's not even like,
Everybody.
It's like number 2.
Exactly. 3 months in, Trump says that, why are y'all still talking about the Epstein files? 2 months later, Cash Patel goes on the Joe Rogan podcast, says, dead to everyone's face, Joe Rogan, the biggest podcast in the world, there are no Epstein files. They lost the files. 6 months later, the files drop. Trump says he's not a part of Epstein. He still says that he didn't know Epstein at all, and they weren't best friends, even though his name was mentioned 5,000 times.
And even though he wrote a heartfelt letter, I'm pretty sure on some weird shaped paper, talking about him being his best friend.
Yeah.
This is obviously a cover up. This is nothing like, there's no conspiracy theories about this. This is a obvious cover up from our government, and you have Pam Bondi, who is the Attorney General, saying this.
Right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, and you know what's ironic too is that, like, if you watch some of them, like Kristi Noem or like JD Vance, they're like, oh, we're trying to find sex traffickers, and you guys aren't communicating with us. When the main guy, the biggest sex trafficker, is in the White House, and they have turned us a blind eye. It's really incompetent.
I have one more video that I definitely want to play.
Please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this department. To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Hopefully I'll put this up.
And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
All of them has raised their hand. There's about
Please
8 survivors
note for the record that every single
that stood up.
survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologize to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein.
So she acknowledges him.
Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
Deflection. She's talking about the Attorney General from prior and Biden's. This is what they do. Mind you, there's 8 survivors sitting in front of her, and they asked, hey, did you interview these survivors at all? No. Okay. Did y'all do any evidence compiling within these survivors right here that has spoken and given tips to the office at that moment, at this moment, and they still didn't do nothing. So at this point, it's like, bro, like, how I don't know, as a regular American, like, we could really do anything about this. Like, I don't know.
They were supposed to protect the victims' names, pretty much.
Yep.
Redact the victims' names. That's what Cash Patel said in the Joe Rogan interview as well, which is, I don't know, I guess kind of contradicts what you're saying. But they didn't do that.
They didn't redact the names.
Redact the other names.
And there's multiple pictures of survivors that was let through those files as well. So a bunch of people saw underage kids of those survivors. Pictures was there, but they made sure to redact the names like Donald Trump, or they made sure to take the pictures away of Donald Trump. Yeah. And we know it was Donald Trump because they had it up at first and they had to take it back down the next day.
Yeah.
These are the shortcomings of our administration. These are the cover-ups, but also it's like, these are our dollars, y'all. Like, literally, they were able to travel. They were able to fund this type of ring off of our dollars. And when we think about, like, these top industries and these guys at these top industries, it's like, it's I'm not even gonna say it's scary because a lot of people assume this, You know, like this type of conversation like Pizzagate
Yeah.
and all this stuff was not new. But at this point, it's like they're not gonna make any arrests. Any arrests?
Why even drop it?
Why even drop it? Why even make this a? I mean, we know why I made this a thing, because it was a tool at the point at Trump's point before he came into presidency to be able to wield it and say, "Oh, we're gonna drop these files," and look, he didn't drop nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. And that Pam Bondi press hearing is like she's getting destroyed in it. And what's gonna be the next thing next week? You know, like that's how I felt about the FBI Kash Patel press hearing a couple of months ago, and I thought that was crazy too. And then a week later, nothing, man. Dead silence.
I don't know why you would self-indict yourself. I mean, self-convict yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ran on the whole Epstein files. And, dude, you're in the Epstein files. Like, why would you tell the whole world you're going to do that?
Because that's what they wanted. Because he knew his supporters would do that. That's the whole point. Like, he knew his supporters wanted that, so he's going to campaign on anything. He's populist, bro. He's going to just do it and run off of it. And then now when it comes down to it, he's like, oh, shit, I'm definitely in those files. Oh, shit. He probably saw it. Came across his desk.
He definitely did.
Came across his desk. He didn't realize how bad it was. Yeah. But it's there. You know?
His base is kind of fumbling. It's literally deteriorating.
It's deteriorating, but
which is sad, because it's like, y'all are going against Trump based off of pedophilia. First of all, is horrible.
Like, no, for real.
But it took pedophilia Epstein ring for y'all to backtrack and be like, he is bad. He's bad. He's a bad guy. So in Venezuela, the ICE agents, DEI, black people, right?
But it's about the kids now.
I wanted to
say about the kids now. But if y'all really cared about the kids though, y'all would have these guys' heads though. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Like, let's be for real. Like, I saw a video of this dude in the airport, and he's screaming. He's like, oh, y'all are all moving around and acting like this is normal. Y'all are all moving around and acting like this is normal. And I'm feeling it. I'm watching this at 3 a.m. on Twitter. But I'm feeling him. At the same time, like, yo, we all have to go to work the next day. Yo, we all have to act like this life is normal, knowing that our tax dollars and the top politicians and the top people in the industries that we have pedestaled are using their money and our money to be able to fund this type of stuff. And when I say this type of stuff, it's really pedophilia, sex rings, private islands, private jets.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was in Trump's, I don't know if it was the big beautiful bill where they allowed private jets to now be a tax credit or a tax write-off. Like, little stuff like that y'all don't even know that's in your bills. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Little stuff like that allows for that type of stuff to happen. And when you start thinking about this, yo, they're getting a government credit. They can write that off these private jets and stuff like that. And think about the extreme amount of wealth that it takes to be able to stuff. It was the same thing that I remember editing last videos. And I said, like, man, like, if you reach that type of wealth, and everybody's hoping and praying to reach that type of wealth where you reach billionaire status, but you end up in these files, man, I don't want it. Sorry.
I would say, though, like, just give some pushback. I do feel like, hey, we got to remember that Jeffrey Epstein, he wasn't just like a pedophile ringleader. Like, that wasn't his sole occupation. He was a hedge fund manager, a financial engineer, and many people asking for advice for managing their accounts or managing groups of people. Which brings me to nations, right? Goddamn. Modi, Prime Minister of India, right? Mass protests because his name was in the Epstein files. This release of Epstein files is dismantling governments. Maybe dismantling is a far-reach word to say. India is still India. It's still on the global scale. The country's not burning, but, like, this is all over the globe. France, Emmanuel Macron was in the Epstein files.
I mean, they saying, you know, just allegedly, but they saying that Epstein was a Mossad agent.
Yeah.
Like, simply. Like, I'm pretty sure that during his the second time he was being tried, that's when he went to go hide up in Israel, no? I think so. But I think it was in the Netflix doc about Epstein. You know, I can't imagine a second doc about this though. Like, that Epstein doc came out, but like, imagine a new doc that's including all this information. Yeah. What would even be the point? We've gotten so far, and you know, Deontay Kyle's talking about guillotine and stuff like that, but we gotten so far in this circle jerk that it's like, man, you don't even know what's real, what's fake, but it's all real. And since it's all real, there's only two things. There's only a couple of things that we can really do: go to work or not go to work. And everybody's gonna choose what?
I'll go to work.
Because we in that fucking machine, bro.
Yeah.
And it's the machine that's funding these guys and are peddling them. You know what I'm saying? Putting them on a pedestal.
It's the Matrix. I'm
ready to get off of this.
All right. Okay, so into the midterms, right? Well, first off, I'll speak about my own lobbying experience. I went up to Albany last week, offered a bill called Put Faith into Housing. Basically, the idea of this, under the organization Open New York, which got some traction over the Mamdani administration going in, they want to give churches the ability to exert a section off of their property and make dwelling units off of it. So basically, okay, a church property, let's say they have a parking lot that's barely being used, they can destroy that, build up apartment complexes, and the church is able to collect some type of rental income throughout the year. That was the whole entire idea, to basically go find some way to fight against the housing crisis in New York. But a lot of things I learned there was a little odd to me, and I learned a lot about the politics firsthand. First of all, went into Albany, walked up the building, got to the stadium. Not even the stadium, it was just steps. Cameras are ready. There's a whole bunch of people. Hop on the banister, on like the benches, whatever. I stand there talking to people. I don't even know what's going on. In my head, I'm thinking we're about to go in there and start protesting for this bill to be passed. Very ignorant. It was a little showcase. Turn on the camera. A couple of assembly members come through. One guy shook my hand. I didn't even know who he was. I said, "What's your name?" "Oh, Brian." He like mumbled it. He said, "Oh, my name is Brian." Didn't even really say anything to me. Hopped on the stadium. Lots of energy. Got out the stadium really quiet. 2 minutes passed by. He gone. You're not even in the vicinity no more. People go in. They do their speeches. They're gone. The room gets emptier and emptier every time someone speaks. So I guess like the conclusion I got from that was that a lot of it is very much optics. You know, it's for the supporters, it's for the constituents, and it makes you second guess how genuine it is, you know?
Or how genuine, I guess, you can get stuff done. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying how genuine the assembly members are. Like, I understand that they have really busy schedules, but it just feels that...
Like, you should have been able to speak to them?
Not speak to them. I guess, have more... maybe speaking to them. Maybe some more enthusiasm being there, you know? Not doing your little speech and then walking off. Like, one guy went up. He was a state senator. Forgot his name. And I tried to look for him. 2 minutes later, he was gone. The other guy, the assembly member, his name was Brian. He was there maybe for like 10, 20 minutes. I feel like he cared a lot more. You know? The room just getting emptier and emptier the more it comes. It's just, I don't know.
Did you get to ask any questions?
I was not able to. No, I wasn't able to. I was literally just in the back. There was a podium. People were talking. A couple of church leaders went up. They spoke about why they feel like this bill needs to be passed through our state, and done deal. Now, again, I went with the organization, so they were planning individual time with certain state senators and assemblymen. So I met with a state senator and a state assemblyman. This is the thing. I didn't meet with none of them. Met with their assistants. Mind you, this is planned in advance, probably 2 to 3 weeks outwards. It's just weird to me. It's not weird, but...
How's the connection with their assistants?
One assistant, he was bullshitting.
So they just... So you feel like they were just there to hear you real quick?
Yeah, they take the notes. What do you mean about the bill? What are you trying to do? Who are you guys? Whatever. And they pass it over to the assemblyman or the state senator, and they do their thing, whatever. That's really what it is. Right? And I got there from like 7 o'clock. No, I got there like 10 o'clock in the morning, left around like 2. And that was my lobbying day. So it's
local politics, man.
It is local politics.
So how'd you feel overall? Like what's your overall experience?
I think my overall experience is that it was good. It was insightful. It's really informative. It gave me a breakdown of what the political sphere looks like on Albany. I was definitely just amazed by like the architecture of the building as well. But
Albany's nice, yeah.
It's really beautiful. And what you got to do to get things done, to be honest with you.
So did you feel like it gets stuff done?
I think it does. I think that's the only way for things to get done. I think there should be a better way. But again, I think the most thing I took from it was that there's optics. The optics are really big.
Do you feel like your voice was heard?
I don't really think so.
Okay.
I think it was on a piece of paper.
Okay.
I didn't talk to assemblyman. I didn't talk to a state senator. I just was there with a pack of people. That's it.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
yeah, that doesn't take away from our Congress leaders, our congressional leaders, and our state senators. I think there's a lot of good work that they are doing. It's just not being represented because we have Donald Trump, posting monkey videos about people, so it doesn't get any attention. It does seem like in today's day, like there's nothing being done. Some people are on the edge saying that everyone needs to get hit with a guillotine or get shot. They are trying. It's just it doesn't get a lot of attention. I guess we can go into the midterms after that.
Yeah, let's go into the midterms.
Oh, I would say on top of that, the way that lobbying does work the best, like I said, I'm just a number. Do I feel like my voice was heard? Not exactly. But imagine if there was 100 people in my group, 200 people in my group. They can't ignore that. And again, it's all about optics, all about image, it's all about the face they have. So they got 200 people going to their desk, 200 people showing up in their office to talk about something. Most likely, they're going to vote on that bill. So.
Word. I was actually listening to this interview from Chiose, who's I'm forgetting his title, but I'm pretty sure he was trying to oppose Hakeem Jeffries in the Bronx. And it was a lot of conversation about, like deed theft and a lot of black home ownership being lost due to deed theft in Brooklyn. And he was speaking about it on this interview with Spectrum News, but it just gave me a little bit of a little bit more inclination into like local politics and how to get a lot of stuff done. So that story, although it was monotone, I think it leads a little bit into like what that local politics might look like. And it's important for like young people to be a little bit more involved in it, just so you can see what the apparatus is, like a lot of me going into that bank and working at the bank for a while, which is like an investment bank, was me just understanding the apparatus a little bit. So government is one of those apparatuses. And if you don't understand it a little bit, it's harder to actually become participant. So you want to talk about midterms?
Yeah, midterms is coming up and we're seeing all this nonsense in the news. This is probably the best way for us to actually show a difference, at least an attempt of a difference before the people who are guns blazing to hop on the scene. I want to start off with the 7 senators that voted for the ICE spending bill. Gene Shaman and Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire, Dick Durbin of Illinois, Tim Kaine of Virginia, Angus King of Maine, Jackie Rosen of Nevada, Catherine Cortez of Nevada, and John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. What they had in common was that they felt that the reason why we need to keep this government open is for the SNAP benefits in military. They felt like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, what were they facing?
I'm just telling you, SNAP benefits. It was
But
the
I'm
SNAP
saying,
benefits getting cut.
but they
It was
were facing
the government being
a government shutdown.
Exactly. If they didn't pass it, they were going to be facing a government shutdown, which would have restricted SNAP benefits, federal workers not getting paid, things of that nature. And they felt that something, I think it was Gene Shaman talking about ACA tax credits. So
Yeah,
that's
so
what really is facing us.
and a lot of criticism on Democrats is that Democrats cannot come to an actual, how like Republicans and conservatives have been on one front and they got Trump elected. It's basically this criticism is that like Democrats cannot be on one front and actually getting something through. So when these Democrats vote against most of their party, in which the party is okay with letting the shutdown to make sure that ICE funding does not go through, but these Democrats flipped. And that's why I guess he's bringing it up now when it comes to midterm elections, because it's time to get them out. Maybe it might be time to get them out, because at that point they're not holding strong to their values. It's more about like, I'm gonna give in because I don't want these other things to be affected. But everything, the apparatus in itself is being affected. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what we're facing at this point. It's a fascist government and a government that's trying to unilateral power. Have unilateral power. And you see it with the attorney general when we talk about Pam Bondi. Like, you see it in these moments that, like, if the whole government is acting like this, none of them can answer a press hearing. you could see the central power. And these Democrats, when they vote for and help Republicans in those moments, that's where a lot of that criticism comes.
Yeah. I will want to say that it's understandable that they did. I understand the framework of it. Hey, we're trying to make sure that our constituents can be fed this month, you know. But in the long term of things, we do need to stop it.
You don't understand.
We do.
Long-term value, like, I can't understand that though. Like, I can't be like, oh, these 7 Democrats, you know, I understand why you did it because, you know, these things that you're facing and stuff like that. I bet y'all all hold stocks. I bet y'all all have a portfolio. I bet y'all all understand potential risks and potential upside. You see what I'm saying? And at this moment,
True.
If most Democrats can vote with those in mind of potential risks and potential downsides and upsides, they can think the same way. You're elected for those reasons. So I can't imagine, like, to be funding ICE in these instances when we've been seeing this lead to death for multiple citizens now and multiple people now. Man.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I think, like, yeah, the Democrats do need to take a stronghold on the government and do what they need to do. But
Like, I think, me and my girlfriend was talking about this, but we were talking about Pam Bondi in general, right? And we were talking about other, I forgot who we were talking. Oh, we were talking about Kamala. And we talk about how, you know, just different opposing, not like, campaigns in general, right? Like, Pam Bondi, I think there's a lot of reasons as to why Pam Bondi got elected and he won, right? But for one, I think it's some biblical stuff, but you can't have one foot in, one foot out. You know, you're rewarded more by taking the path less traveled. You see what I'm saying? And for Pam Bondi to take that path and stand tall to a lot of his values, I think that's what resonated to a lot of Gen Z and what resonated to a lot of voters in general. But also affordability, you know, there's a lot of factors that went into that. But I do think that with Democrats and now seeing like, okay, what new world are we heading into and new land that we're heading into, I think it's going to take radical sticking to your values. And for some people to be flipping like this, man, it's time to flip them out. You see what I'm saying? It's calm. I don't want to be hearing about no donors and you having to figure out what's going on with your donors. I don't want to hear about you having to figure out, oh, well, we come to terms. We have to make this about politics. Nah, man. Nah.
Yeah.
It's now the Epstein files got dropped. We know what this is. We know that the government be like in the play bureaucracy systems and be playing around, but some people still get paid. Some campaigns still get donated to. It's time. It's time for a lot of Democrats. It's time for a lot of Republicans even. If you are opposing this, oppose it. If you are on it. That's cool. But now we know.
And
so I think
not
most of
even
these people need to
asking for
get
much,
flipped.
too. They're not asking for much. This is body cams, I think, labeled vehicles, police vehicles and stuff like that. They're not asking for much at all. So it's weird. It's definitely weird.
Listen. How's y'all weeks out there? Do you have any more? I can finish up.
No. So, Jesus, the way that you're able to actually know who's your representative, we brought out those 2 senators. The way I was able to do this, the most easiest way was governmenttrack.us. GovTrack.us. You can look up your state senators through that. You can look at your congressional district and see who represents you, right? It gets a little greedy. So depending on your area, right? Let's say you live in an inner city or maybe even a suburban city, right? That city can be broken up into 2 different districts depending on where you live, right? Let me start at the federal level. Federal level congressional district, speaking about the Hudson Valley, we are in, his name is Pat Ryan, the 18th congressional district. That holds Newburgh, Poughkeepsie, and Kingston all together. But the thing is, at the state level, our state assembly, man, it's split up into 4 different districts, which is 104, 105, and 13, and 106. 4 different state assembly districts. So midterms are coming up. People should be looking up their constituents, looking up their leaders, their political leaders. What do these roles really mean? And how can you basically benefit from it? How can you position the country in a better place? I would say right now, people like Patrick Ryan are really good people. He proposed bills or co-sponsored bills to go against the Venezuelan takeover, ICE takeover, stuff like that. That's what many of our leaders are doing at the moment. But we do need more action. And for the senators, I think 2 of them, I think Angus Kane and like Gene Shabin are up for re-election in 2026, but not all of them. There's 33 33 senators in America that are up for re-election, and every single House of Representatives seat is up for re-election.
And that's what they mean by the midterms is coming.
Yes.
So go. What's the site that they can go put
GovTrack.us. Right now, let's get it really, really easy. This is a federal website, FEC.com. You go on there, you put in your zip code, you type in your zip code, and it will bring up who is your congressional leader, your congressional district leader. Are they up for re-election or not? It is so simple. Look it up. Do your research on that. If you're in New York, you look up New York State Assemblyman map. New York State Assembly map, you will see every single state assembly district. These people, honestly, I think New York is the most important. Like I said with the lobbying thing, right? When I said to put faith back into housing, allowing these churches to develop dwelling units on their properties, that's a state bill. That's not a federal bill. That's a state bill. And that state bill of allowing churches to have dwelling units on their properties would affect New Yorkers.
Because I got some thoughts on that too.
Kathy Hochul, you should know your fucking governor. I'm going to keep it a buck. You should know your governor. You should know that governor like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kim Curry. You should know your governor. I'm talking to Shorty the other day. She trying to hit me with, oh, you know what you're talking about. I was asking, I told him about it, but I'll tell y'all. I was asking questions about the Grammy. I said, oh, girl, did you see this and that about Bad Bunny, whatever? Oh, I don't do those things. I don't look at it. She posted it 5 times on her Instagram about the Grammys. I don't know if she's trolling or not. I'm like, yo, watch this video. I'm not watching that. I don't pay attention. You're so distracted. I said, who's our governor? I don't know his name. Wrong. It's not even a he. It's a woman. The woman is Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul is up for re-election in 2026.
Know your governor.
Do your research.
Know your governors, man.
You should know your governor.
Know your peoples.
Know your governor.
Know your peoples.
At the bare minimum, know that governor. That is the president of your state. So, anyway, that's the end of the midterm segment. Do some research on that.
Word. Do y'all research, man.
Oh, and on top of that, GovTrack.us, you can see congressional districts. I said that already. Congress.gov. So after you find your congressional district, go to Congress.gov, type in that member's name, go to the bill section, and you can see every bill that individual sponsored or co-sponsored.
He giving y'all the gems, man.
I'm literally making it so easy.
He giving y'all the gems, man.
So
Make sure
easy
y'all
for
hearing
people.
this. Simple. So when they talk about the midterms, this is what they mean, man. Midterms are coming up, November. It's going to be election time. I need y'all to follow those exact instructions and go look up what y'all need to know. Know your representatives, know your governor, know what they voting on, their bills, etc. So you know whether or not you need to get them out of there. Okay? And if they're not up for re-election, maybe you need to pressure them. Simple. Let's talk Benito. Okay, so listen, Bad Bunny was at the Super Bowl. Man, I enjoyed the performance.
It was good. It was all right.
I think it was a decent performance.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I tried to tell y'all for the last 6 months or the last 2 months, that Prime Video, I forgot what it's called. It's like one day. It's one last time. I'm forgetting what it was called in Spanish, but he performed it, Prime Video. That was his last show. That was his last residency show in Puerto Rico. I'm telling y'all, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. It's like me going and watching a James Brown video back in the day, or me watching a Prince show or a Michael Jackson show. I'm telling y'all, it was so well produced. It was so well done. He brought out so many different people. Like, it was a part of the culture. I feel like this was like a little mini one. He brought out Ricky Martin. He brought out Lady Gaga. The show was cool. I would have used a different song selection. You know, I love the Hawaii song, so I'm of course I'm gonna like that. Baila Inolvidable. You know, I'm of course I'm gonna love that. Cafe con Ron. He performed a lot of good songs, but you know, I feel like it could have been a little bit more. You know, but the unity portion of that was just beautiful. You know, I think the symbols that was displayed, you know, the sugarcane fields, the what do you call it? What was the electrical
fields?
Yeah, the electrical fields. There was a lot of symbolism. The what's it called? I'm thinking of it in Spanish, like tiendas, the stores. The stores around that they showed stores from New York, from LA, from Puerto Rico. So it's just a lot of symbols being shown quickly in that 8 to 13 minute performance. And I think overall it's just a Caribbean type of diaspora that was just felt throughout it. You know, at the end, I think it was like preach love and not hate or something like that. Like the best form of love.
Oh yeah, on the
the
big
best
TV
form
screen.
of spreading love
Yeah.
is not spreading hate or something like that. And I you know, we fully support that. So overall, it was a great night for me. We went to Miss Barb's, which is in Flatbush. Nobody knew the lyrics and stuff like that. So then we went over to our Boricuas and I think next to like Bushwick or Queens area. And man, that was a lit time over at Tori. So man, shout out Tori first of all. But it was just a great time, and being around some Puerto Ricans, some Boricuas that felt it is always so beautiful, man. So it was a great time for me and my peoples.
Yeah, I mean, Lady Gaga.
Whack.
I mean, like,
I understand
nigga, we have representation over here. If you needed some niggas to come, we got Beyonce, we got Alicia Keys, we got Monica
Cardi?
Brandy. You could
Cardi?
have gave a call.
I thought Cardi was gonna be there a little bit. Everybody's talking about it. I don't really care. They said I like it, but I'm not a big Cardi fan, like in that realm. But
True.
There's
I
a bunch
like
of
it would've been cool.
Tokisha. They not gonna have her at the Super Bowl.
But people didn't know. You know, I still don't know what Tokisha be saying, but it's fire. So
True.
shit, Karol G should have hopped on that stage instead of Lady Gaga.
Hey,
she
man,
was there.
I think
Why
a lot of
weren't
people,
she
but
there?
I understand it. I love that song that she performed too, but I did not like the rendition of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love that song though. I rock with that song. But overall, I think the performance was amazing. You know, at the end, he showcased all of the Caribbean flags. I saw St. Kitts and Nevis. You know, Jamaica was there in the back.
Jamaica.
You know, it's in the back. Trinidad was in there. You know, it's so many
far back.
I didn't even see Jamaica. I'm not even gonna lie. I
that's
did
the
not
problem.
see Jamaica.
That's the real problem.
I didn't even see
is
Jamaica.
That, why don't you see Jamaica? If you saying to us, we should be in the front with the flag. I should have brought the flag.
I didn't
today.
even hear him say Jamaica.
He said Jamaica.
I didn't even hear
before
him
he
say
said
that.
United States. You see how Jamaica's damn close to United States? You saw that? Where the fuck was Trinidad? So I'm just saying.
Bro. Hey man,
where was Trinidad? Anyway,
man.
I just want people to know that Jamaica is the epicenter of culture. Jamaica is the epicenter of music. There is no reggaeton without us. There is no dembo without us. There is no fucking hip hop without us. There is no rap without us.
Let me talk
You're
about
welcome.
that. So a little bit of Black history, little Black history nuggets. So there's a couple of so when I was in Ghana, I went and I took this class called Grammys Afrobeats. This is when I learned about how instrumental the transatlantic slave trade was with music in the diaspora, like, you know, just the way that music was transferred during those times. You know, the first time you had all those drums coming from West Africa, then going into the Caribbean and Brazil. So you had like the tambora drum, which is like a Dominican drum, but you know, originates from West Africa and the Yoruba peoples and the Dahomey peoples as well. But then you have the conga drum, right, where a lot of this is within salsa music, that's in Cubano music, which is in Dominican music. It's in a lot of Latin music in general. Is these two drums that are instrumental, and you can hear it as soon as you hear those songs, and it's within, you know, Bad Bunny's album that you can hear all throughout. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because a lot of people don't realize that, like, man, people talk about like Latin people and people talk about, you know, Hispanic and Black peoples within America, and there might be a little bit of a rift at the moment, especially because of the latest administration and stuff. But I don't think y'all realize how spiritually we're connected through our music, and how with all those drums traveling from West Africa then to the Caribbean, then from the Caribbean during, like, you know, like Black American terms, where it's like you see like ragtime, the blues, jazz, all this stuff, then traveling back over from from the Caribbean over to West Africa, and from West Africa to France. And that's how all of our peoples are connected, and it's really through music. And some of that was from like the world wars and stuff like that, but like I want you to realize how instrumental this music was and this connection is, and it's just showcased through that performance. You know, so like I want a lot of people to understand that, like, that's also what Bad Bunny was trying to portray during that performance, was a lot of the unity that we have between each other. And I feel like throughout that album you could just hear it, you know, and that's maybe of course I'm Puerto Rican, but like maybe that's also why I connected to this album specifically the most. You know, like I've listened to a lot of Bad Bunny albums, but it's not as instrumental to me, you know, as like even like Rao's latest album that's like very Puerto Rican heavy. But when it's Puerto Rican heavy, it's drum heavy. You know, when it's drum heavy, it sounds like Kimbada the Kimbamba, Kimbada the Kimbamba, like it sounds like Celia Cruz. And Celia Cruz sounds like When I'm in West Africa, it sounds like high life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And high life sounds like Afrobeat, not Afro beats. Keep in mind. And this is what I mean by the connection between our diaspora and the Latin diaspora and the African diaspora. It's instrumental. And I wish that a lot of this division is not really there because it's surface level. Because man, a lot of the connection is like when you see us when we just together. Why our cultures mix a lot, and if you listen to the music, you'll realize why we're so interconnected.
I remember when you was playing that song in the car. You was playing, I don't remember who it was, but I was like, ain't this Spanish? And you told me it was some guy from Nigeria. I was like, whoa. They sound exactly the same.
Yo,
like, literally, the drum kit was exactly the same. I was like, I didn't.
Yes.
Yes. It's really interesting.
And you don't know this until the education is there. You know, and that's why I gotta subscribe to Perspective on Substack. yes. Perspective on Substack. Go subscribe there because we're gonna put out a lot more education on this type of stuff. Because to be honest with you, I didn't know until I went to Ghana. I did not know. How would you know that all of the African drums? Of course, you could think about it like that, but it's not like these Africans traveled with it on the slave boats. No. A lot of these Africans knew of this culture, brought it there. Once they were there, created those drums, and now it became Dominican Republic, and now it became the tambora drum. You see what I'm saying? But beforehand, that was the tambadora drum in Africa, and the djembe. These are the type of drum, like that connection is just beautiful, and it traveling all back and forth. And then during the World Wars, where the first black infantries and stuff like that were able to be stationed in West Africa and able to be stationed in France and able to be stationed in all these different places, which is why now the type of music that we have today is because of those connections. It's beautiful to think that way because, of course, this was done by, not our doing, but at the same time, how are we able to still find so much joy and beauty and creativity in it?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So I wonder, why do you think Black American music is so different than the rest of the diaspora?
It's not. Well,
I think.
I love this question.
Wait, hold on.
I love this question
because I feel like our rap.
You gotta let me get there.
Rap is significantly like just the drum kit, the beat is very different than Spanish music.
Okay,
very different than reggae. Very different than Afrobeat. Kind of like obviously I'm talking about the older versions.
Before we get into that,
I'm talking about like before 2010s, right? I'm talking about because I think that
Black. You're talking about
90s, but because I feel like right now, like Black American music, like rap is very like you can hear it like in Bad Bunny's older albums.
Don't speed up. Don't speed up.
No,
let me answer.
Okay, yeah. So
don't speed it up because I'm gonna get there because I do feel like we're not gonna speed up. So the question was, why do you feel like Black American music is partially or
significantly different than the rest of the diaspora when it comes to their music?
Okay, so I'm not no music expert. I took a Grand Music Afrobeats class. I pay attention to music heavy, but I've done a little bit of research on this stuff. So back in 1890s to around when the 1900s was about to come up, you had like ragtime. That was when Black people were allowed to start playing music, European instruments, and they're mixing their own beats into it, right? This is like 300, 400 years removed, right, from when the first slaves touched down. But yet, this is when we're now starting to get influence into, we're allowed to play within our own clubs. We're allowed to play within our own spaces. And that's when you have like ragtime come in, where it's like people playing the piano, but it's still, I think it's like unsyncopated. That's what you call it, unsyncopated, where, the beat is off, but you're still playing and they're playing around and now they're jiving to it and now they're freestyling and stuff like that. And then it develops into blues because it gets a little bit more sad in the 1900s, and then it turns into jazz and we start swinging and shit. You see what I'm saying? And now we're going to the 20s and now we're getting to the 30s. Harlem is starting to pop a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Cotton Club is starting to pop. And now you're starting to realize how music is starting to just beautify the world in general. This is not just becoming Black American music, but it's becoming global, right? And of course, Harlem Renaissance. Like this is the era in which Black American music was just booming, right? World War I, World War II happens. This music now starts to travel, France, etc. Now this is diaspora music and stuff like that, where our music is not just blues, ragtime, and swinging, but now it's rock. Now it's reggae. Now it's all these type of music that's developing and stuff like that. So those are like 60s, 70s, and now you can understand why rap comes at the 80s in the 90s, because right after disco and stuff like that, where it was a little bit more resistant, but now it's becoming a little bit more gritty. You know, urban cities are now becoming developed because the Industrial Revolution has had its time. It's leaving its cities now. You have the Bronx, you have Detroit, you have all these different places where it's a lot more resistance. Now I'm spitting a little bit, but let me land. It's become a lot more resistant and stuff like that, and people are getting used to it. So that's the birth of like hip hop. Well, let me back up a little bit. Then you have the Caribbean, right? Caribbean at that time, music is getting a little bit bigger. Sound clashes are a thing. This is where DJs are. This is where Jamaica becomes very instrumental into hip hop. These are where they are doing these huge bashments, right? And this would be like, all right, this would be like for like 8th grade dance, or this would be for like this parties and stuff like that that's happening in Jamaica. And they would be doing one truck got 80,000 speakers on the back of their shit, and one other truck got 80,000 speakers on the back of their shit, and they going crazy back and forth. But what happens around that time? 70s, 80s, 90s, immigrants start coming to New York. Immigrants start coming to all these different places. Hip hop is born, right? So when they're doing sound classes in Jamaica, but now they're bringing sound classes to New York, but that music is now becoming disco, and they're spinning all these different records, and that's where you get the Get Down. You hear what I'm saying?
It's a good series on Netflix.
It's a great series on Netflix.
Yeah, continue.
And now you're seeing how a lot of this stuff starts to originate. And then you get like DJ Kool Herc and all these different DJs that was playing in New York, and that's where hip hop comes a little bit to life, right? Very general statements, but that's I believe how a lot of Black American music got developed. Now, to your question, how does it become a little bit less? It's just European. It's more
European.
I think it's Europeanized. Now it's not like whitewashed. Like it's not like that. It's more about like our instrumentation becoming. It started becoming a lot more sheet music in the 1900. You see what I'm saying? Like late 1800s, there was no sheet music, man. They playing on piano. You think about Louis Armstrong, he's not playing no sheet music, man. He was getting criticized for playing sheet music during the 40s.
I was not expecting you to say that. Okay.
Well, let me get there. Pure hip hop, although it's not sheet music, it is pure hip hop is straight lyricism, right? You gotta think about that time. It's like it's different now, and that's why I think our hip hop now has become a little bit more like back to African, like unsyncopated beats where the beats are mad. It's just all flow and you feel. And a lot of people that are hip hop purists will be like, man, that's that mumble rap. But I really think that mumble rap is really like us returning a little bit more back to our beats where it was unconventional. When I was in Africa, when I was in Ghana, they had this instrument where it's like two balls and you're flipping it back and forth, but you're supposed to do the third beat as you're flipping it. Here,
I've seen that. That's in Brazil too. I seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
So they moved to a different beat. They're dancing into, bro, this is Black history right here. They're dancing into a different beat in general. That's why when the Africans, they start hitting that zonto, they start hitting them dances, you be wondering why you feel like you got two left feet. Because they moved to a different beat in general. In general. And that's why I think America and that hip hop that you're talking about, it's not the same. It's because a lot of European like instrumentation and our Black American instrumentation at that time started to clash.
Refused, huh?
And that's like purity of hip hop because it's straight lyricism. You see what I'm saying? Although the get down and the breakdown when it comes to like the beat making is a little bit more, I would say, African, but that lyricism and that purity of hip hop, I think is a lot more of like, that's where you hear like the emphasis on that. But that's where it develops now. That's like 90s, 2000s.
All right, so
but hold on. But when you get back to the South,
yeah,
that's when it changes, and that's where you see a lot more African stuff. Because if you think about the Congo Square, what's the Congo Square? It's in Louisiana, right? If you think about like where, that's why I think like New York and South, and it's all about sympathetic ears, man. It's like if your ear is trained to listen to it, then you will be able to listen to it. If you don't like Afro beats, it's because you don't have a sympathetic ear to it. If you don't like Southern hip hop, it's because you didn't have a sympathetic ear to it. But I really think that's us originating and going back a little bit more into our roots in general, which may sound a little bit less together, but which is why a lot more people mess with it in general. Go.
Okay, so you have to have a sympathetic ear for Southern. Okay. I feel like I'm still stuck on like, hey, maybe I'm a little shallow, but I'm stuck on the statement of you feel like it's our music is sheeps. Is that what the word is used?
No,
I said sheet music.
Sheet music. I'm talking about notes on a sheet. Simple.
Sheet music.
Sheet
Like
music.
Europeans.
No. Sheet music, like musical notes. Like if you're about to play the saxophone, I'm going to put up my sheet right there on my thing and I'm going to play it. Louis Armstrong was being looked down upon during, I forgot the times, but it's like 30s, 40s around that time. He was being looked down upon at that time because he does not play on sheet music. Our musicians did not play on sheet music. They played to they played to their own shit. You see what I'm saying? Like it was to the feel of the music. Okay. And that's what I mean by hip hop becoming around like 90s and 80s and stuff like that. I think it's just a lot, what you see a lot more of, like, it's just first world stuff. Like, it's like first world music that allowed that to bridge. Now, here's the thing. When I was in Ghana and I was listening to a lot of Afrobeat and that music at that time, if you listen to Ghanaian music around 2000s, you listen to Nigerian music around 2000s, man, they sound like Tribe Called Quest. They sound like Mobb Deep. They sound like their own rendition, their own versions. I have it in my phone. I got to find it. They sound like their own versions of hip hop. And it's because at that time you don't realize that, like, bro, that diaspora stuff, it traveled heavy. Hip hop at that moment became global, and it became extremely instrumental into how a lot of these nations, you know, shape themselves. And you gotta realize that these nations are young nations. And I forgot why people be mad when people say that, but they're young nations. So it's like a lot of the time was not only of resistance throughout the 60s and up. For these nations, but it's like also they're coming into those hip hop and those resistant music type at that same time, which just goes to show just how interconnected our diaspora is. It is so interconnected.
But I feel like you still haven't answered, like, why Black American music is so different. You said,
I don't think Black American music is so different. I think if you listen to like High Life, I think if you listen to Nigerian Afrobeat, you would realize it isn't that different.
I feel like it's...
And what type of Black American music?
Okay, so when I say Black American music, you were saying that don't take it too far, so let's go to Jay-Z, Lil Wayne. Let's go to those artists, the 2000s artists. I think there's a really just the structure of the beat, you know. I think what you were saying earlier, that I do feel like those communities are really... I feel like those communities are really much connected. Like the Spanish people, Jamaican, whining, right? Salsa music, bachata. Yeah, we only got, I mean, again, crunk maybe? Again, it's 30. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of hip movement when it comes to West Africa, to Mexico, to Dominican Republic, to Jamaica. There's a lot of hip movement. Nigga, bachata play, whining. I feel like a lot of Black Americans don't really understand that shit.
Does a Black American not listen to grime music at all?
No, I'm just saying that when it comes to that thing, the hips, it don't translate to Black Americans the way it does for Jamaicans.
Are you being a little bit regional? And the reason why I say that, Freaknik. They had parties in which it was straight grinding for hours and sessions. That's what I'm saying. Like, get it, shorty. Like, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean by the drum is not as heavy, but that's because hip hop is electronic.
I feel like the drum is heavy though. I think the drums are just different. Like the drums,
no, but I'm not talking about the da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's instrumentation. I'm talking about the drum that's the 808 is much different. That's what I'm talking about. And it's electronic. It's electronic too. You gotta realize that hip hop on these once it became the Akai beat maker machines. And I might be talking to my ass too, but I'm just going off of this theory now. The Akai beat maker machines are electronic. These guys are going for a certain sound at a certain time, and it was not. And that's the whole point. That a lot when I get to my fall off conversation, hip hop was revolutionary. Its goal wasn't to be grinding. It became grinding in 2000s. Yeah. But its goal was to be KRS-One. Its goal was to be, this situation that's happening right now, these circumstances is not going to continue. This is revolutionary music, which is why a lot of the time I was talking about with Ghana and Nigeria, a lot of their music reflected that as well. And you got to realize what was happening at that time too. Fela Kuti was coming up at that time as well. Mad revolutionary in his own space in Nigeria.
Wait, who's Fela Kuti?
Fela Kuti is Nigeria and Africa's in general Bob Marley. I'm telling y'all, let me play something.
I don't know if he's Bob Marley.
I'm letting you know. Watch.
Might be a little too strong.
Be
right
careful.
there.
Be careful before.
Be
careful that Nigerians come on you.
Let's not disrespect our goats.
I'm saying he's one of those goats. I'm saying in general,
Okay.
I'm saying he's one of those goats. And there's some of these goats, that's what I'm talking about. Bad Bunny, I really think is one of those goats, right? I'm putting him up there. He's in those conversations, and that's what I mean by like
He might be MJ. He might be next to MJ.
Who?
When it comes to influence, Bad Bunny.
And I'm saying Fela Kuti. I'm just saying you don't know. I'm letting you know because they're gonna let you know. I'm telling you, he's one of those. He's one of those.
I don't know, bro.
Because you gotta realize that a lot of them. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Marley wasn't.
They still playing Bob Stones.
They still playing Fela. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't. This man.
Nah, see, like that right there, like
this is a 10-minute song.
wait.
I want you to understand. Hold on, real quick. Yeah,
I
before
feel
I
like
get
that
ready.
thing right there, like literally, is a mixture of like Spanish music and the jazz phase of Black America back in the 40s. That's what I just got from that song.
And that's why I
literally.
want y'all to understand that the connection between this diaspora. Like
Yeah.
Fela, he's one of those. Fela was one of those, man. Went to war with Nigerian officials. Went to war with the government. That man swallowed a blunt. I remember. That man swallowed a blunt to make sure that he was not going to get prosecuted. I think he killed his mom. I think the Nigerian government killed his mom in front of him. I'm saying it's not. It
I
was.
thought you said he killed his mom.
No. I think the Nigerian government killed his mom, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's on some Bob Marley stuff. It was not it, but we just don't know about that because we're Black Americans. But I'm saying overall, it's one of those, man. This man got a 10-minute song. It's called "Water No Get Enemy." Yo, 10-minute song. He didn't talk. He didn't start rapping. He didn't start talking on it till like 2 minutes in. That's how you know it was one of those. That's how you know it's one of those. He let that. Yo. I want y'all to hear the instrumentation. That brass also came. Those are European instruments. But during that time, that's what I talk about. The World War I's, World War II. This is where a lot of that started getting moved around because of the wartime. A lot of them was able to use instruments during the wartime and stuff like that. Maybe they were using it down in when they were stationed out in Ghana or they're stationed out in around Germany and stuff like that. A lot of these, that's where they come from, and that's where a lot of these bands was able to get their music too, and learn how to play like this. So it was just different, man. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to say.
I feel like you covered it all.
I covered a lot of it. I want to go to the fall off. Yeah, but yeah. So music in general is just. I feel like now, what 2016 brought back a little bit was the unsyncopated beat. You see what I'm saying? The beat that was just so off, or the flow that was just so off that only young people understood at the time, right? When 21 and all of them went and did that freestyle, you know, like only young people understood at that time and actually cared. But a lot of old heads didn't realize it, and that's because, man, I really think that was the shift again. Now it's like, man, music is just so expansive that's like not even old heads can hate on it. Because now it's like, bro, it stems into so many different things now, and we've opened that up again. We opened the Pandora box where you don't know what you get. You don't know what you get out of these different artists and stuff like that. And I think that's beautiful. And I think more artists that go back and start listening to this stuff again, man. Artists that know that Fela Kuti, bro, understands artistry. It's like the D'Angelos of music, you know. It's like understand. It's like purity. And man. Make sure I go listen to Fela Kuti after this. Water No Get Enemy, man. Let me play his verse a little bit. I gotta play his verse a little bit. I gotta find his verse though. I told you, it's like 2 minutes in. They just going crazy. I gotta find his. Oba Fela, yo. I gotta find it. I'm telling y'all, they just going crazy. Y'all, it's 5 minutes in, and this is when he starts.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but I'm saying he used to have people waiting there. Waiting, man. He just had his band go. That's how you know it was crazy, man. Bob did the same. Shit. Yo, have him wait. Michael Jackson did the same. Yo, have him wait, bro. Listen to this music real quick. You're my Lord. A water go use. This is what I mean by like Bad Bunny's performance. It wasn't just for Bad Bunny. It was for the fellows of the world. You see what I'm saying? That's why I think, my girlfriend, she's Nigerian, and her family was loving it.
But he even called them out.
Let me finish. My girlfriend was loving it. And the reason is because they could never see their fella get onto a Super Bowl stage. It wasn't just about him not being able to speak English. It was about how many non-English peoples are around that are listening that has their type of Bad Bunny and was not able to make it to that stage. Luckily, Bad Bunny is adjacent because he's American, because he's Puerto Rican. You see what I'm saying? And that it was able to be accepted on that stage. But think about how many times that those type of artists, fellas, were not able to grace that stage. Think about how Bob Marley was not able to grace that stage. You see what I'm saying? And think about the cultural influence that Bob Marley had.
Bob Marley is literally the Michael Jackson, though. He's on that arena. He's on that scale.
Did he go to the Super Bowl?
He was dead. He didn't even get a chance to. He probably would have. If he was on, he probably would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying though. He probably, when did he die?
He died in the 80s, I think. I think it was the 80s.
What was the first Super Bowl?
The first Super Bowl was in 96 and was hosted by Michael Jackson.
Oh, really?
And Michael Jackson was
the
the only one to get paid for it.
Michael Jackson was the first one?
Yeah, there's some history behind it.
That was the one where he flew in?
No. This is the one where he was talking about what's the one with for the kids? I forgot what it was called.
Oh, We Are the World?
I think so. Okay.
But
basically, the Super Bowl, they were trying to find ways to bring in revenue. They were losing viewership on the halftime show.
Yeah.
And they seen there was basically a show dedicated and people were switching off to it. It's about 20 million viewers.
Yeah,
so they decided to bring that over to the Super Bowl and fill in that gap. Brought in Michael Jackson. That's the biggest pop star. Had people fainting at his concerts and gave him a couple of millions. He did his thing, and that's how it started off.
Yeah.
And it was on Remember This Time, and he was on some he brought the children out and healing the world and how.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? You know how Michael
is. I guess I was just saying that this is one of the first non-English speakers to grace that stage. You see what I'm saying? And headline like that. Yeah. And although you saw Kendrick last year, and a lot of people talk about not understanding the message that a lot of people got, it's just Bad Bunny at that point showcase on the world on a global stage that you don't need to be the book definition American to be able to get it. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by book definition American, you don't have to look like one of us, or you don't have to speak English perfectly to be able to grace that stage or be able to have that type of acclaim. I wonder if we'll see Afrobeats people come up, depending on how big they reach. Even though I think Bad Bunny's out of here. So
yeah, I don't think Afrobeats is coming anytime soon.
It's not coming anytime soon, in my opinion. But it's man, who knows? You see what I'm saying? Bad Bunny, his rise to fame came in 6 years. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally 6 years, man. I remember when he was doing smaller arenas, and then next year he was doing Yankee Stadium. I'm like, when was he doing Yankee Stadium?
Bro, I remember when I didn't even know who he was. I remember that song was, first of all, the song with Drake, I was calling it MIA. People were laughing at me. It's called the Spanish Girls. It was it's called Mia. I was like, oh, I thought it was MIA. I didn't know anything. It was 2018.
I didn't even like that song, yeah.
I didn't even know that was Bad Bunny's song. On
that song.
Album with La Romana, the X 100. I didn't even really know what I was listening to. I was like, this shit is hard. But I didn't know Bad Bunny. I was listening to it for Drake, and here he is, headline the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
Has Drake ever even done the Super Bowl?
No,
that's crazy. Actually,
it was crazy. Well,
Drake should have been done the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they saying it's probably not going to happen now. But
let's not step on Bad Bunny's moment.
Yeah. So let's get off of that. I'll talk a little bit about my GQ retreat. First of all, how y'all doing out there, man? How y'all doing? How's y'all weeks been? Go ahead, put that into the comments. Let me know how y'all been doing. If you've been rocking with the episodes, if you've been rocking with Kanai, if you don't been rocking with Kanai, just put in the comments too. Hey, kick him out.
That's not nice, man.
I'm joking. But yeah, let us know how you're doing in the comments, man. I want to know. Have some, feedback, good feedback. Like the video. Hey, like the video and share. Go ahead, share that out. Do what you need to do so people could hear, this good information that's coming across our screens. Facts. I mean, look at that whole breakdown about diaspora music, man. How would you know? How would you know that? I went to Ghana to figure that out. How would you know that? That's what I'm saying. That's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. That's what we here for. Yep. And it was all prompted from that question, man. It all came back right there. So that's important. All right. GQ. Let me talk about a little bit more of like some college stuff. So when I was in college, I was a president of GQ, Gentlemen of Quality, 50 Black and Latino men. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, and I was a president of that space, and it was instrumental in how I became a leader, instrumental in how I approached young men in these spaces and mentorship, and how do we become better men in general. Whether that's within like scholarship, whether that's within like community service, whether that's within like interpersonal relationships, all of that encapsulating, that is what we push as, Gentlemen of Quality. So we had a retreat this weekend in New Jersey, went out to the cabin. The cabin was cold. I didn't sleep both days because it was like negative degrees out there. It's insane. But it was one of the most transformative experiences I've had in a while, man. Like, it felt like everybody that went there was ready to talk, and I'm alumni now. So we have alumni that comes in, then we have administrators that come in, like 3 of them from the campus. And then we have the 50 students that comes in. And, I've run it as a president. I've run it as political action chair, which is like my sophomore year, my senior year, etc. But now running it as an alumni, it's just beautiful to see how all these younger guys that I used to mentor, these younger guys that used to come to me for advice, is now running their own sessions. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. And I had some reflections in general because, man, did everybody get very vulnerable and talk about all the stuff that not only students but young men go through during those times. So a couple of reflections. First off, my man John O said this, young man John O that said this, and he was like, man, this is off the conversation that most of us are liars. And when we say lies, it's like, oh, you say that you're going to be doing this thing, but like, are you actually doing it? Where's the effort? Where's the actual, what's the actual numbers behind what you're doing? And to provide an example of that, John O was like, man, all y'all be saying that y'all are students, right? We all say that we're students, college students, etc. What do you put on that when you're signing up for your Discover card? You put occupation student, which means that you're a full-time student, which means that you're supposed to be putting about 2.5 hours or something per credit in each of your classes, right? Meaning that you're supposed to be putting 40 hours a week. If you're not, and he stood out, he was like, yo, I had the video. If you're not putting 40 hours a week into a student, how can I take you serious? I don't think I ever put 40 hours a week into my college career. I spent 4 years there. You've been in college for a little bit. Have you ever put 40 hours a week into it?
I'm not the right person to ask that question too.
And
I'm a horrible person to ask that question too.
But
bro.
no, but it's a good question because it's not just about college though. It's about real life. It's about effort. You see what I'm saying? It's about not being a liar to yourself. Yeah. For real. It's about how much time you actually put into it. How you lying, bro? I be telling people I'm OBD busy, but sometimes you just be chill. You just be lazy. You're not actually doing the stuff that you're supposed to be doing. And that's important for young men in general to be holding each other accountable about that, and holding yourselves accountable, because if you're not being real with yourself, man, you just getting numb. Getting numb to a lot of the BS. And we should not be having that, because I really do think, I look around the young men around me, yo. This stuff weighs on my heart. I'm not even gonna lie. This stuff really weighs on my heart when I don't see a lot of my friends doing well, or I don't see a lot of my friends, like fighting through their depression. And a lot of young men are going through a lot of depression.
That's a fact.
And it's not being fought. It's being numbed. Whether that's within weed, or whether that's within drinking, whether that's within chasing partners and chasing women, and chasing dopamine hits. And I'm not going to act like I'm above it. I'm not above it. I'm just saying that it's time for us to be real with each other. And there was just one question I was asked during that time, and it was like, what does it look like to be a better partner? What does it look like to be a better leader? What does it look like to be a better brother? You see what I'm saying? And I had to answer that question. I had to sit there, it's table questions, consolidated questions. And I go to answer, I'm like, yo, to be a brother is to be accountable for your brother when you know that they're not going to be accountable for themselves. If you know your brother is going to be sitting there in his crib, sitting there for hours, not going to be doing nothing, is sitting in that depression, and you know that they can't fight out it themselves for themselves, then it's on you to go there and go sit with them. It's on you to go there and go help them out with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is stuff that not only we've done for each other, but like I've done in a space within GQ. It's about holding each other accountable because at this point, it is a full court press. It's not easy to get a job right now. It's not, if you didn't get to college, it's not easy to get into college. It's not easy to operate in this world right now when all these Epstein files is hitting, everybody's algorithm is out of whack, you're getting fed all this BS, and you still got to wake up tomorrow and figure out how you're going to make this dollar. It's hard. It's taxing. It's depressing. You see what I'm saying? A lot of guys are suffering in silence. A lot of guys are thinking that they have it, and they don't have it. Hanging on by a thread and don't know how to ask for support. Don't know how to ask for help. Ask for help. Tell your brothers what's going on. And if your brothers are not the ones that can hold you accountable in that way, then you know that circle needs to get a little bit bigger.
Might stop talking to them people.
Simple.
Real shit.
And if those are the only people that you have in that moment, those are not the only people in this world. Those are not the only people that you can go find and you can go meet. And maybe it's hard. I understand. Me and him were just talking about how hard it is to go make friends at this age. It is hard. But doesn't mean that you still can't go to that coffee shop. Sit there with your laptop and hope somebody comes in and push yourself to make that friend. I want a lot more young men to be accountable for themselves and for their brothers around them. Simple. Y'all got to start being accountable. It's important because we cannot let people slide through the cracks. We are all we got. And it's different. You know, a lot of us have different responsibilities. You know, like there's some stuff that, like, of course you want to share with your partner. But some stuff is hard to share with your partner. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about finances, when you talk about, like, responsibilities, you talk about family stuff, sometimes it is hard to share with your partner, and I would urge y'all, open communication is very important, so I would urge y'all to do so. But I'm not going to fault y'all for going to your brothers first to talk about it. Go ask for support. Make sure you're talking to your people. Make sure you're holding each other accountable. And make sure that when your brother is down and they can't hold themselves accountable, man, you got to put that call in. You got to go knock on that door.
Yeah. I feel like if you're not doing that, you're not really a person. I think it says a lot about your character, personally. Like, if you're not able to do that for a friend, if you're only there when things are convenient, if you're not ready to have those conversations when people are down and about, then, like, you're not really living in reality. Like, personally, I hate people that, like, expect you to always be happy. Like, damn, like, yeah, I do have sad days. Sorry. Fuck, I'm depressed today. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to come over here and give me a hug or not? Real shit. So if you don't have those people in your circle, I feel you got to cut them off or just de-rank them. You went from friend to colleague to acquaintance to nobody. Maybe you got to do that.
And let them know. Let them know what is going on. Yo, you don't even have the. Yo, do you realize that I just came to you with a problem and you don't even have the capacity to talk about it with me?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like this retreat, it was like, man, it was so harsh, open communication. When I mean harsh, it's not, I'm not talking about like, it's like harsh words. It's like harsh vulnerability. You see what I'm saying? Like, we going to ask each other the questions. You see what I'm saying? And you either going to answer or you're going to sit there until you answer. Simple. And it's like, man, you can't lie to us because everybody's looking through you. And I feel like a lot of, back to the stuff I was talking about before, it's like, man, a lot of like young men are just lying to their friends. A lot of young men are just lying to their families, lying to their friends' families, their brothers. They're not being real with themselves. Are you okay?
Yeah.
A lot of men can't even answer that question. We need to do better. And listen, I'm here for y'all. Perspective's here for y'all, first of all.
And I think on the other side, we should also say that, hey, like, if that friend that you see is going through a lot and you're trying over and over again, I think you should implement not 3-strike, but a 5-strike rule. You know? You try 5 times, they're not working out, well, you got to cut them off. Because what they do is called spoiled apples, they spread.
They do.
Viruses spread.
They do spread.
I'm
not too big on the cutting off. You know, I think
if that nigga gonna die, leave that nigga to die.
That's no.
I came checked on you. I checked on your pulse. I checked on your head. I tried to bandage you up. Ain't nothing working. Gave you some pills. Ain't working. Well, give that nigga a little burial and remembrance. Give him a little grave digger.
Okay, stop. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. I'm not with the let you die. I'm with the I'll come back in a year. I'll check in a year.
I've been going.
Maybe
he going.
He not going. He not going.
He's saying the same shit.
He's sitting there.
I'm gonna come back in a year.
No, I'm gonna come back in a year. And
Okay.
you always gotta just send the text. You know, we got a couple friends. One friend that just one friend that distance from themselves. I think we gonna check back in a year. I'm gonna check back.
I tried to call him last week for the Super Bowl. He ain't answer.
Cause he's in his. That's what I'm saying, bro.
He called 2 days before that.
All right.
He ain't answer.
All right. We going up and it's about to die. Listen, y'all.
But sit in my room, just play Valorant, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
Sit in my room, play Valorant.
I love y'all.
Fuck it.
Listen. Gen Z, listen. Be accountable for each other. We got. This world, hey, them 401ks ain't coming. Listen, them social securities ain't coming. Shit, I'm over here. Pensions ain't coming. I'm scared about the Roth at this point. I'm scared to even put my bread in stocks right now. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
No bullshit.
All we got is ourselves, man. Bullshit. All we got is connection. And when this bread is gone, and the whole system's crumbling under Epstein stuff, and under Epstein's hedge fund, man, just know we're gonna have to go back to them sound clashes, and it's just gonna be us sitting there with just beating on our drums.
Oh, we didn't even do the Black Futuristic Town though. So this is what it is, right? I went to Eastdale. This is a town within Poughkeepsie, New York. A little far out, 20 minutes off from the suburbs in the city, right? I was working there probably about, I think, 2020 at a nursing center. Grasslands, nothing there, straight highway. 6 years later on, they have a physical therapy center. They have housing apartments. They got a urology specialist over there. They got a coffee shop, bagel world over there. All types of amenities. They got an Italian deli over there, right? And it's mind-boggling to me. First of all, let me say, why was I even going there? I had a little family troubles going on. Someone in my family had to get surgery. They had a surgical center there. So if you're from in the area, there's 2 hospitals. We're driving, and I see that we're passing the 2 biggest hospitals in our area, and we're going to this area. It's called Eastdale. I feel like the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is the blueprint. This is literally the blueprint of how we should be building back communities, how we should be building cities. This is literally Black Wall Street, but senior citizen version of it. Summer comes around, they have events there. They have concerts over there. Completely secular, blocked off from Poughkeepsie. They're their own little town, their own little city, to be honest with you. They have all the amenities that is there and that is necessary. So what does a Black futuristic town look like? I think we already know what it looks like. You need a supermarket. They don't have one, but they have everything else. Doctor's office, physical therapist, food spots, housing, lots of housing. That's all I gotta say, really. Oh, and they're still building. They're still building. Actually, every time I go over there at Eastdale, they have a new complex. A new section is built up every single time. It's weird. I have actually a family friend of mine. They sold their house and they live in Eastdale now.
Interesting. What a Black futuristic town looks like. That sounds pretty good to me. I think what a Black futuristic town might look like. I want to see grocery stores. I want to see small businesses, specifically like small family-owned practices, family offices, small dental offices, stuff like that. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. What else would I like to see? I would like to see learning centers, new, improved learning centers. We actually are in one right now. It's called the Innovation Lab. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to see new technology being able to be put in front of 5, 6, 7-year-olds and to them to think about new world solutions that's going to change this world. That's what I want. And I want to have those incubator programs all the way up from 5 years old up until 18 before they either start thinking about a trade, a college, or something else. You see what I'm saying? I want places for students to be able to think, places for kids to go after school, man. Sometimes I think about like, man, like I be thinking about them Jewish towns like Williamsburg or like Curious Joel in which is like a couple of towns from here. I know it's crazy. I had to get my COVID test. Hey, shout out New Yorkers. First off, I had to get my PCR COVID test back in COVID, and we drove out to this place. It's the first time I ever came in contact with like a fully Jewish city. I'm like, I've never seen something like that in my life, and that's on some of these right wingers, man. Y'all have never seen nothing before, man. That's how I know. Like, y'all would drop dead in these places. Like, y'all would be so scared. Like, so I went to Curious Joel to get a PCR test. I'm sorry to see every single person is driving a van. Every single person got these cars. I'm like, what is going on? Like, they're all Hasidic Jews, by the way. If you go to Williamsburg in New York City, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they have one of these towns upstate. Yeah, places like Curious Joel where it's like, man, these communities live and they thrive. But it's like, I want a similar type of community where it can live and thrive and all these businesses are going off of each other. That's what I was going to talk about is Williamsburg, right? Like, you see Williamsburg, bro, there's kids walking around at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night without their parents. I've never seen stuff like this in my life. They have I think it must be like heavy security and safety around there in general, or it's just they police their own community in general. So it's like they can feel safe about their kids walking around at 10 o'clock at night. You know, I'm talking about like 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if Curious Joel is like that, but Williamsburg is like that.
Though. The private police they have,
it's
right?
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and they do have power to police or something like that. They have their own police cars. They have their own buses and stuff like that. But I was thinking, I'm like, bro, like, I want to have a space where kids can hop on the bus at 7, 8, 9, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and they'll be safe. I want to have a place like that. So it's like parents don't have the obligation where their kids need to be with them as soon as it hits 5 o'clock at night, or 5 o'clock in the PM. It's like, all right, it's time where, you know, families come together. Nah, it's like, man, these kids need some extra learning. If it's going to be after school, okay. Let's go school, after school. These after school programs now look like some crazy innovation stuff where these kids are getting really good access to technology and they're building portfolios. So now that when they can go to college, they have a portfolio for it. Or they go to trade school, they already have an apprenticeship for it. That's what we need to be developing for our young and our youth people. So they'll be good to become good citizens and stuff like that and be prepared. I can't think of any parent that wouldn't want their kid to have access to all the technology that we have access to now at this age, but having it at 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. That's what these nonprofits need to start pushing for. And that's why I'm pushing a lot of the people that I know that has a good subject matter, that knows how to deal with youth and knows how to deal with these type of like curriculum building, but also these nonprofits that got the money that can go do this. I'm working with a lot of them right now to try to figure it out, but that's what I want. That's what I want. I think that's what a futuristic city looks like in this day and age. It's like, all right, we got our businesses, we got our peoples, we got our churches, we got our spiritual centers, but we have our learning centers for students. And this youth now is because much more of a youth culture, man. When we were kids around, we were able to ride our bikes everywhere. We used to ride our bikes all within our neighborhoods and stuff like that. And that's where we get to like explore as kids and stuff like that and get a little bit more of a sense of like life and urgency. But they saying now kids nowadays, bro, barely be going outside, you know? Like a lot of this stuff is at home.
Dog.
But it's not, is it that false?
It's false.
Is it that false?
Because I got some couple kids on my block. His name Charlie. They be coming around near my house, you know, when they plow the snow.
Yeah.
At the end of the road, you got this big old mountain. 6 of these little niggas was out there making a little igloo out there.
Oh, okay.
They be playing ball.
Okay, I just haven't seen it in my neighborhoods anymore.
I be walking past them. They be staring me down. I'm like, oh, what's up? Da da da. What they do? They outside. Okay. There's a lot of kids outside. You know, I don't know where people get that from. I mean, they got their phones, but I don't know. I think that's just blown out of proportion.
I hope it's not. I want to see the percentages.
Yeah,
but I do think kids can get out more though. They can get out more. And I mean that it just needs to be it's not just getting out. I want them to have structured get out. You see what I'm saying?
Even my baby sister, bro, she be going outside. Like she be on that iPad. She an iPad kid, don't get me wrong, but her and my baby sister, my big brother, they be going outside. Be really active. So
well, your mom's active. Outside.
Yeah, but still, like
I what you're saying though. Kids are gonna be kids.
Still, like, you know, yeah. Breaking shit in the house, all that.
Yo, Gen Z has been an amazing episode. I think we're like a minute and 30 in. Y'all already know we dropping these long episodes, man. If y'all like it, if you've been to the end, first of all, I love you. If you made it to the end, I love you. Go ahead, leave a comment and tell you love me back. Share it, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do. Subscribe to our Substack, and soon a little Patreon is coming in as well. Y'all don't even know. Perspective's about to blow. For real, for real. Check us out on Instagram as well. Other than that, Gen Z, millennials, boomers, Gen Y, whatever. I love y'all, man. And I think we're signing off, man. Yeah, I just say.
I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to like it up. I want y'all to put Jamaican flags in the comments.
Ooh. Trinities, we up.
That's what I want.
Gen Z, what's up? I love y'all, man. Signing off, man.
All right.
Love y'all, man. Peace.
Good night.